it's my life unlisted. So I'm reading Genesis 3, right? And I just have a question. I wonder who else is mad at Adam and Eve for eating that fruit? That story just really touched me to this morning because I think about how many people have struggles in life because of lack of discipline, and how many of us in my community that end up, you know, living lives that if somebody really took seriously the job of parenting, their path would be so different. I have a lot of friends who ended up in jail or dead because of lack of parenting. Simple as that. And so, anyway, that verse really ministered to me this morning because it it just spoke about the spirit of discipline and obedience. I think it's so important for, first of all, for parents to really take that that responsibility seriously. Then also, it 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 molds your child into a person that can live a life that is balanced. I think when you have rules and understanding of authority, there is, I think, a way of life that it maybe is not so bumpy because you're not fighting against life and you're not fighting against authority and stuff like that. Wow, they ate that fruit and everything went downhill. It's so funny to think that you're living in this world of bliss and you know you're not supposed to eat it because God told you so, and God is the Father, right? So that was so, I mean, it's so symbolic um, in terms of what it is for us when we come into the world, and our parents are our tell us what to do people, and when we don't listen. I was thinking of a story when I was 18, and I wanted to go out, right? I wanted to go party. This particular evening, I decided I was going out, and I had told my mom that I was going out, and she was like, "No, you're staying in tonight." And I was caught up, like, "I'm sorry." And she repeated herself and told me, I said, "No, you're not going out. You're going to stay in tonight." And I was like, "I'm, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm 18." I'm I'm laughing at myself because who cares? It was so funny. She was like, "Yeah, I know how old you." She was like, "Yeah, I know how old you are. I'm your mother. I was there when you were born. You don't ever have you don't ever have to remind me how old you are." Oh gosh, being a child. I think it's so funny to be somebody's child. So she tells me how I don't have to remind her how old I am, and I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean I can't go out? But do you?" And this is what's funny is you know when you know your boundaries because I'm like this. What do you mean I can't go out? I don't. You know, if if you weren't my mother, if you was somebody, if you were somebody else, if you were somebody else, I would just walk out. You know, I have friends that are 18 and I'm grown, and if they, and I keep pulling it off of me because it ain't gonna happen on my end, but at least I gotta get my point across. And if if their parents told them they couldn't go out, they would just leave the house. They would go out and they would do what they want to do because they're 18 and you can't tell me blah 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 blah, popping off. And my mother just was as quiet. She was like, "Okay, um, so you can go, but just know if you leave out of this house after I done told you that you can't go, don't think you're coming back." And y'all, I didn't have nowhere else that I could go, so I went in that room. I was mad. I was like, "Oh, I can't believe you gonna tell me I can't go out. I'm 18. I can do what I want to do." when I tell y'all that I laid down mad, and I'm not kidding, not even 5 minutes later, I was knocked out. And I mean knocked out. I woke up the next morning and it was a Sunday morning. I woke up to go to church and I went in to tell my mom I just wanted to apologize for the way that I was acting last night. I I really didn't mean to disrespect you and all this stuff. And my mother just bust out laughing. She said, "Boy, don't you know that I know you and I didn't let you go out last night because I knew you was tired. I saw your eyes was red and your eyes was tired. You looked crazy. And then with the moment you started telling me what you was going to do, I knew you was tired because who you talking to? That's my girl. Oh, I love her so much. Shout out to my mommy. Hey boo. When your parents are charged with the responsibility of your life, you know what? Give up a little bit. Let them do what they supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do. And when it's time for you to go, you go. And then you go out when you want to. You eat the fruit. No, don't eat the fruit. He said don't eat the fruit. Children, honor thy mother and thy father. And parents, steward your children well. Give them rules and regulations and stipulations that are going to keep them from knowing too much. Love each other and do what you need to do for one another so that life can be what it's supposed to be. Y'all be blessed. Oh, it's my life unlisted.